The Squid web proxy service is the standard Linux method for regulating and optimizing network connections to the Internet. It provides more finely grained control than a standard firewall, as it supports blocks on specific websites, access controls on specific clients, logging of where clients go on the Internet, and much more. But remember, the RHCE exam prep guide only requires that you set up services like Squid for basic operation. In this case, that means configuring Squid as an available web proxy server for the clients on a local network. Let's look at a standard Squid configuration file. It's available when you install the Squid RPM in the etc/squid/squid.conf configuration file. You might notice over 4,000 lines in this file. By default, it's set up to accept connections only from the local system. But despite the 4,000 lines, basic configuration is straightforward and only requires a couple of changes. Well, 3 or 4. First, look for the HTTP port directive. By default, it's set to 3128. Whatever this number is, you'll need to make sure that clients know and are configured to use that port number, and more importantly, any firewall you need to set up is also configured to allow traffic through that port. Next, about 2,500 lines into that file, there are a bunch of HTTP access directives. As configured, it's set up to allow access to this Squid proxy server from the local host system and deny it to everyone else. So I've added a couple of directives to allow access from my local network. You won't see these directives on your configuration file, but you will see these commented suggestions. ACL stands for Access Control List. This first directive creates a Our Networks variable using a source IP address of the noted IP version 4 network addresses. Since I have only one IP version 4 network, I write the same variable like so. The HTTP access directive allows access to this Squid proxy server from any system with an IP address that corresponds to the Our Networks variable. There's one more change required. It's related to the visible hostname directive. It's normally blank. I've set it to the host name of the local system, and it can help your users help you identify error messages related to Squid. It's also necessary to help set up Squid caching directories. One more thing. There is one security-enhanced Linux setting associated with Squid. It determines whether Squid is allowed to connect to the network. And as a network service, that's certainly what you want. Now that we've made the changes to the Squid configuration file, we write the changes, and then we run the Squid Z command to create caching space. Swap directories in the var/spool/squid directory. As this caches space or pages from browse networks such as the Internet, be prepared. This could easily take up gigabytes and gigabytes of space. So if you're running a proxy server in real life, prepare your partitions accordingly. Of course, you should then test Squid by starting the basic script. That worked. And make sure Squid is set to run the next time you boot Linux. There we go.